Hello and welcome to the Album Man, and sorry about the lack of an intro on this video, but I really wanted to get it out on this particular day, and I have my reasons for that, as I will say in a second, so didn't have time to go through the whole rendering process. My laptop is very slow at doing things like that. So, today I'm going to be reviewing Live at Montreux 2010 by Gary Moore. And this is the last recorded live performance of the late great Gary Moore, who sadly died 2 years ago today on the 6th of February 2011, hence why I wanted to get this out on the 6th. And this was recorded at the 2010 Montreal Live Jazz Festival, of course hosted by Claude Nobbs, who sadly died a couple months ago, I think. And the interesting thing particularly about this album is that it features 3 new songs that would have been on his upcoming studio album had he not, of course, died. And the album is also interesting as it marks a return to his sort of 80s rock roots, as he said that he was going to be putting the blues on hiatus just for a little bit, just pretty much an album. He seemed to have a decent, really good backing band, some, rock musicians, so wanted to just go foray into rock a little bit, can't blame the guy. So, the song that kicks off this album is the classic Over the Hills and Far Away. And this instantly demonstrates that Gary wanted to go back to his rock roots with this song, as it's from Wild Frontier as well. And it kicks off some fantastic guitar work as would be expected from a master of the instrument. And it's clear from the outset also that this is a really well produced album. The mix seems just right, having just that bit of emphasis on guitar as opposed to vocals. The drums really clear, the bass especially very clear. Every instrument you can hear individually, but it's clearly Gary Moore's guitar which is the, main thing, but that's what you'd want. And now this song, if you don't know, this was originally written in the 17th century, so clearly not a Gary Moore original. But really he takes this song and he brings it up to date and makes it a really heavy, hard rock song with an irresistible chorus. And the solos on this are just so fantastically good. It grabs you into the album, just makes you want to listen on. He even manages to get some sort of Celtic sounds on his guitar, which is really, really cool. And yeah, so he gives it a sort of Irish vibe, but it's Gary Moore. Fantastic start. And then we get Military Man. This was originally released on Run for Cover and featured Phil Lynott on vocals as he wrote the song. Now, obviously Phil Lynott is on vocals for this, as it was called in 2010, but, it's still fantastic, and I think that Gary really does have a really good voice. Not as good as Phil Lynott's, but, still a really good voice. And the song, it's another hard rocking song, totaling about 6 minutes in length, and it just has that great Thin Lizzy vibe you'd expect from a Phil Lynott song, combines the blistering intense solos of Mr. Moore to transform this song into, from what would have been a good rock song into an absolute classic. Now, one of the most interesting songs comes now, and this is Days of Heroes, and this is one of the 3 new songs I talked about earlier that are on this album. It instantly opens with a very Irish-sounding guitar riff, and it has that big, anthematic rock chorus that really harkens back to the mid-80s or mid to late 80s Gary Moore. And if I didn't know better, to be honest, I could easily have mistaken this for being a song from Run for Cover or After the War. It's just a fantastic hard rock song. And very, very impressive. And then next we get another of the new songs, which is Where Are You Now? And this song, it changes tempo a little and is a slightly more sedate song, if anything. I mean, at heart, I am a fan of his blues stuff more than his hard rock era. I prefer something like Still Got the Blues and Back to the Blues, as opposed to stuff like After the War or Corridors of Power. But I still absolutely love those albums. I love that aspect of Gary Moore. But this song, it really just proves that, I wish he could have released this album, to be honest. Songs like, Days of Heroes even, and Where Are You Now? It could have been one of the best releases of 2011. And this song, as I said, it has a classic, long, emotional and heartfelt solo that Gary really became known for. And the way that he plays the instrument and just makes it sing is quite phenomenal, to be honest. combined with the fact that he writes such a damn catchy chorus. I just love this song, and pleased that he got time to play it, to be honest, before he died. I mean, the way especially he makes his guitar sing. He's one of my favourite guitarists of all time, and I think he just has a level of, emotion and even soul that he puts into his guitar playing that I really think is close to unparalleled. Now next we get, and this is so epic, this is the So Far Away / Empty Rooms. Now So Far Away is a little instrumental written by Mo Foster and Ray Russell, and he covers it frequently going into Empty Rooms. So altogether this clocks in at 11 minutes, and not a single second feels wasted. I mean, the rendition of the instrumental So Far Away, it's simply moving. It's it's sort of a slow start and a slow instrumental, but it really sort of, builds to getting into the classic Empty Rooms and provides such a fantastic transition to get into that song. And so I think this is one of the best versions of the song he's done. There's just something particularly special about the performance of it. It could be that he has such a fantastic backing band with him. I mean, it's a relatively slow song, of course, with a great chorus, but the standout thing, as usual, going what is the lead guitar. I honestly can unequivocally say that he puts the most emotion into guitar of any guitarist I've heard. I mean, even though I've heard the solo of this song countless times, it still blows me away each and every time I hear it, and there really aren't many guitarists that can do that for me. But then we get to another of the new tracks, and this is Oh Wild One. It's one of the last of the new songs, and it's a proper hard rock track with that Irish vibe that he likes to put in there, especially on the solos, which I really like about it. I find it's a unique thing about going, well, not quite unique, but it's certainly, something different about him. And again, it has that perfect hard rock formula he achieves, so it's sounding unique compared to the other songs, while still screaming Gary Moore and having that inventive, mind-blowing solo, as well as being catchy as hell. I mean, just reminds you how much I miss him, And then Blood of Emeralds even. And this starts with such a melodic, bluesy lead line. It then goes into an awesome hard rock riff. I mean, I've always loved this song particularly, so it's really cool to hear a live rendition of it, especially coming at 8 minutes. He plays the hell out of it. Now Out in the Fields is next, and this is released with Phil Lynott on vocals originally, and was one of Phil Lynott's last recordings actually. But even without Phil Lynott, he can still rock a 7-minute version of this song, even though it's only a 4-minute song in the studio version. And that's what I love about Gary Moore, particularly live, and this album especially. It's just how he extends the songs and turns every song, it seems, to an absolute epic. I think on this song, the thing that really stands out is his vocals, and the chorus is probably the catchiest he ever wrote. And even though, yes, the originals are Phil Lynott on vocals, he actually did write this song himself, including the lyrics. It wasn't Phil Lynott. Anyway, wonderful performance of an outstanding song. Then, getting close to the end, and Walking By Myself. And this is his classic cover of the Jimmy Rogers 8-Bar Blues song. And even though that he said that his blues stuff is sort of on break, at that time, he couldn't resist playing a bit. And I mean, I have always preferred this version to the original. Sorry, Jimmy, but I think this song, it really just suits the Gary treatment very well. And the more sort of heavy blues rock song vibe really fits in with the song, to be honest, and especially how much passion he puts into it. It's superb. Now, the penultimate song on this album is Johnny Boy, and this is an acoustic song which provides a really nice change of pace. It's a beautiful, haunting song, and it's sung so beautifully, of course. However, as good as Johnny Boy is, the next track really overshadows it. In fact, it overshadows the entire album, and is one of the greatest songs ever created by mortal man, in my humble opinion, and contains a solo so great that it would make Hendrix weep. And this version in particular is absolutely beautiful and quite simply breathtaking. The song is Parisienne Walkways. And I mean, the man may have been 57 or 56 at this time, but bloody hell could he still play guitar just as well as when he was in his prime. See, I'd argue he never lost his prime. But yeah, so from the haunting intro to the signature sustain in this song, I mean that sustain is sublime. It sends shivers down my spine every time I hear it. And yeah, I mean it's just, it's always been my favourite part of the song. And I mean, how any fan of rock or blues or any guitarist at all could not enjoy this guitar solo is simply beyond me. Again, I use the words again, but it's just so true for Gary Moore. It's so full of pure, raw emotion, and that's what Gary Moore's really best at doing, even though technically he's, was phenomenal. It was really the soul he put into his music. And, I mean, the live version of this, it's far better than even the massively impressive studio version. That's just a feat in itself. The song also being the last song, this last recorded live performance, means that it has a particularly special quality to it. And, I mean, what a swan song to end a career, really. I mean, I can't think of a better swan song for, possibly anyone. It really is such a way to end it. It just sums up why he was a legend, why he was a genius, why he will be remembered, and why he is one of the greatest guitarists the world has ever and maybe ever will know. Overall, this live album is simply stunning. It's a classic, even out of the countless live albums he's recorded. And I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Now you may think, after all of that massive praise, why only a 9 out of 10? Why not maybe 9.5? Or well, the thing is, songs like Parisienne Walkways and Out in the Fields and Empty Rooms, etc., they have been sort of recorded so many times live, and there's so many different versions. It's nothing particularly new, it's just very good versions of those songs, really. So for that, I can't really give it any higher than a 9, but the new songs, fantastic. Wish the album had been completed. And if you're a fan of Gary Moore, this is an absolute must own. As essential as Still Got the Blues, or, Corridors of Power, or After the War. I mean, it really is essential. This has been the Album Man. Thank you for watching. Can't wait to subscribe, and as usual, long live rock and roll.